There are some differences between the Gospel accounts that critics of Christianity say are contradictions, and mean that while we might be able to know that Jesus existed, we can't accept the claim that Jesus is the Son of God or he really did miracles. And it's generally not reliable. But while we already know that if two stories are identical, we might suspect collusion, another important thing to note that while there might be perceived differences in the Gospel accounts, these differences are well within the expected writing style of the time, and kind of actually add to the first century legitimacy. Of course, paper was not a limitless resource 2,000 years ago, and most biographies of people were written with the intention that it could be read to an audience within 2 or 3 hours. So paraphrasing events, summarising, spotlighting, and other techniques were all expected of writers of antiquities. And think, most movies nowadays are about 2 or 3 hours as well. For instance, after the resurrection of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke, it states Peter ran to the tomb, whereas in the Gospel of John, it states that Peter and John ran to the tomb. So was it just Peter, or was it Peter and John? Now, just because John is admitted in Luke's account doesn't mean that he wasn't there. In fact, slightly later in Luke 24:24, Luke writes, "Some of those who were with us went to the tomb and found it just as the woman had said, but him they did not see." So while Luke specifically mentions just Peter in the earlier verses, now he is mentioning a plurality of people visiting the tomb after the woman reported the empty tomb. So just because Luke spotlighted Peter doesn't mean John wasn't also there. It was expected of writers of ancient times, specifically in Greek antiquities, to shorten, to paraphrase, and to highlight and to spotlight key events. And the style of writing places these written accounts right in the time and the location that we would expect. I'm Rowan Locke for Thinking Matters, and this has been your Thought for the Week. For more resources like this, go to www.thinkingmatters.org.nz.